Hi everybody, welcome back. This is Melissa. I am going to take you on a little tour today of one of the latest properties we had that just hit the market recently and is actually under contract. This was kind of a challenging property, not as crazy as Nemesis House was, but definitely a challenge floor plan wise. When we first purchased this house, it had pretty much been untouched from the time it was built, so it was really stuck in a bad time warp. I really wanted to open it up and let a lot of light in, but it was a challenge trying to figure out structurally how to make that happen because of where the beams are placed. So we always want to make sure that everything is structurally sound. So when you first walked into the front door of this house, there was a closet right in the entryway. To the right-hand side was a very long, narrow kind of, family room, dining room combo sort of thing. And then if you continue down the hall past the closet, it opened up into a really dark, long, narrow living room. And it was covered in dark paneling. It had a bunch of dark beams on the ceiling. So what I did was, there was a beam running through there, but I was pretty sure it wasn't a supporting beam. So the contractor, we had him open up the ceiling, and we discovered that the beam was actually in the middle section between those two rooms. Not where we kind of thought it might have been originally. So what we did was we ended up having to build down a little bit when we cut out the opening, and then we added the support column. Also with that long, narrow kind of living room, dining room situation, we took the closet out and then opened that wall all the way. And what I had him do was go ahead and just frame down so that you can see all the openings are the same amount. It's 18 inches from the ceiling down. And that's just for added support. There's actually a beam running through there also. It's open, but everything is supported, which is very important. I also added a lot of can lights in this house just because it was so dark. In the front of the house, there's very large trees, and they kind of shade the front of the house, so I wanted to have it as light and bright as possible, really open it up. So the fireplace in this house was pretty ugly. It was kind of a yellow brick, and it's stuck way out of the wall for some weird reason. I'm sure that everyone knows by now, if you've watched all of our videos, that I really like doing something special with the fireplace just because it's a great focal point. So I used the wood look tile that I like to use a lot of times on the fireplace, and we took the hearth down. It was way high and sticking out really far. Kind of broke all that down and just made it a little bit more flush to the wall, and then went all the way up with the tile. And then I had my contractor build this really nice mantle. He's so creative. He actually took in the center of the fireplace, you can see it's kind of a different shape tile. He had a little leftover piece of the Carrara marble from the bathroom, and so he cut that into a little design and laid it into the fireplace, and I thought that was kind of cool and creative. Also opened up the kitchen area. It was very dark with upper cabinets over that sink area that hung down really, really low. So there was a very narrow opening between the kitchen and that living room. So I decided to scrap the uppers. And what I normally do in those situations, I try to make sure if I'm eliminating any cabinets that we do have space somewhere else. There was a built-in wall cabinet that was sort of a pantry, and we ended up making that larger. It's in the breakfast area, just to kind of compensate for the loss of those upper cabinets. I also had him run electrical through there just so that we can add those pendant lights. Those were from IKEA, and I did purchase those when we went on our little IKEA shopping spree. If you want to check that out and just see exactly what we bought, but I did use those in this house, as well as the chandelier in the dining room. We did add the granite in the kitchen. I was experimenting in the kitchen this time with a little bit different cabinet color than I normally do. I really like doing the two-tone, the white uppers and the darker lowers. So the blue didn't quite come out the way I hoped for it to, but it still looked okay. I think people didn't complain about it. So I was saying before that this house was a challenge just layout-wise, and that challenge extended into the master bedroom. The closets are really weird in this house, and it actually had a hallway that connected to the adjoining bedroom. So I had to figure out a way to, first of all, get rid of that weird walk-through situation, because nobody really likes bedrooms that are connected that way. And also the second bedroom that had the hallway that led to it actually did not have a closet at all. So technically it wouldn't have been able to be considered a bedroom. So I had to puzzle over and really give this one some thought. And it took me a little while to figure out exactly what the heck to do in here. It wasn't until we had already gone through most of the demo before I finally figured out what to do. So what we decided was we opened up the doorway where the original kind of hallway thing was. So we opened that up and ended up putting double doors in. And then we scrapped the original closet, just opened that whole wall up, and created a wall in between the two bedrooms. So now you have a huge walk-in master closet, which is great. And then if you go to the next bedroom on the other side of that wall, I actually had him build out a closet. So we came out 5 feet, and I thought at first it might be a problem, it might make the room seem small, but it actually worked out just fine. It ended up being a normal room size with a closet, and we don't have that weird walk-through situation anymore. Another challenge I had in this house was the master bathroom. It was very, very small, and the ceiling was very low in the shower, and it was just really dark. Most of the work here was in the shower area. So what I did was I had him open the shower as much as possible because it was very narrow. I could barely walk through to even get into the shower. It was so narrow. And so we widened the opening. I had him open up the ceiling. There was actually plenty of room up there. So we were able to raise the ceiling in the shower and then add some lighting in there. So now it's much more open and inviting. Another thing with this bathroom, with it being so tiny, I really wanted to kind of make it a wow factor. Here again, I'm using those tiles on the floor that I fell in love with from Floor & Decor. They're big tiles, but they're pre-printed with these cool patterns on them. I just thought it made it look really trendy, but not overly so. But I really love the way that bathroom came out. It looks really sharp. So that was our tour of one of our latest properties on the market. The numbers on this one, we purchased it for $127,000. I spent $25,130 on the rehab. I went a little bit over budget on this one. I hadn't planned on the garage doors, so $25,130 for the rehab. It is currently on the market. We just got a contract on it over the weekend for $197,500. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and you can also check out my IKEA video that shows the products that I've been using. Make sure to like and subscribe, and thank you very much.